Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are back with another one. It is the Authority Project, and I am Brian S. Arnold here, and I'm here with my good friend here, David Alto, and he says he is here to help us elevate our LinkedIn profiles. Is that right, David?
100% correct. I'm going to give away all the free advice that I know.
Well, we shall see. We shall see on this episode of the Authority Project.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes and tune your ears. It's that time again. We are live with another episode of The Authority Project. It's the video podcast streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope, where we talk to digital marketers, business coaches, and creators of all kinds on how they've built authority in their field and how you can mimic their success. Developing authority, building your audience, and attracting better clients to your own business. Now, without further ado, let's bring to the virtual stage your host, Brian S. Arnold.
All right, we're back with another one, folks. It is the Authority Project. And you are the project. Yes, you are the project. We want to slap authority to your name so you can sell more of what you're great at. And I'm happy to have David Alto in the virtual building today. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fine. And that intro, wow. I don't know how many millions you paid for that, but I love it. I love it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. So let's dive in, first of all, to who you are, David. Who are you personally and then professionally?
Yeah, sure. So I am a 52-year-old that found his dream job at 50. Nice. And I'll explain. You know, really it was back in early January of 2019. Posted my first video on LinkedIn. It was my birthday. I didn't know what else to share, so I just shared something about being 50, and I was happy I would turn 50 because I get to contribute more to my 401k. Didn't know what to share, but I was really worried. I got on LinkedIn again to really try to find a new job. So I was that job seeker. I was employed, but I was afraid my company was going to sell or franchise. So I was, getting out there on LinkedIn and really learned I was good at so many other things while posting and sharing on LinkedIn that in December of 2019, I left my day job to do what I do now, and that's provide, resume, LinkedIn, and interview coaching.
Great. Awesome. So one last question before we get into it.
Sure.
What is your daily routine, David?
Daily routine. Okay. Alarm goes off at 5 a.m. I hit the coffee pot. And for me, listen, it doesn't have to be, everybody doesn't have to get up at 3 or 4 in the morning to crush it. You just do what works for you. But for me, I wake up awake. And I am, my creative juices are flowing in the morning from 5 a.m. to 11. So that's when I'm writing more, doing more on LinkedIn. My process is I'm writing those resumes, helping my clients bright and early in the morning, taking some calls in the afternoon, kind of like this here for me, 1 p.m. on the West Coast. And then hopefully done by about 3 or 4. But for me in the morning, and for everybody, if it's different, but find your creative time. Find the time that you're most effective, and hold that time. Don't hold it hostage. Protect that time. So I normally protect that time because it is the most creative for me. And then I take some calls, in the early afternoon or early evening.
Great. Awesome. So let's dive in. I'm ready to go. Let's dive into this topic about elevating your LinkedIn profile. I'm very excited to hear what you have to share. Let's go. Let's get to it.
Sure. So, I learned by being a job seeker on LinkedIn the best things to do and not to do, because I did all the wrong things initially. So if you're a job seeker and you're on LinkedIn, messaging recruiters, hiring managers, HR, that's the wrong thing to do. The right thing to do is you see that project manager at Amazon, that position that you want to apply for. It's going on LinkedIn, searching for people that are project managers that work at Amazon, messaging them something like this. So, hey, Stephanie, I see that you work at Amazon as a project manager. I was hoping, and Amazon's on my short list of potential companies I want to work for someday. I was hoping maybe you could share with me some insights into your position and the company culture and what you enjoy. Thank you in advance. You're leaving it brief. You message 8-9 people. You're going to hear back from a couple. Maybe she tells you all these amazing things, and then you come back, thank her, and say, recently I seen a position as a project manager at Amazon. Based on my LinkedIn profile, my work experience, my education, do you think I'd be a good fit, and should I apply? If you do anything on LinkedIn and you're a job seeker, doing this could potentially get you a referral. Stephanie might be thinking, hey, couple, some referral money for, right? But if you do anything on LinkedIn, that is what you need to do if you're a job seeker. You need to search out people that work at the same company that you want to apply for in the same or similar role, message them, and you never know. Because you got to, because 400 to 600 people are applying for the same job you are. So that's just one tip.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. So that's a great little script. How do you like, naturally the people's they're gonna look at your profile, right?
Yes.
Once you're doing that. So what do you want people to see once you've done the process of saying, hey, I want like you just did with the script? What do you want people to see the first thing they look at when they see your profile?
Sure. And I know I kind of rambled that script off kind of quick for the viewers. So so I'm more than happy to provide that for free to anybody that wants it. Just have to DM me on LinkedIn and I'll provide that for free. Awesome. So you want that banner, just like on Facebook, you got a banner, right? You want that banner to be something industry related. Now, if I work at Apple, I don't want the Apple logo. I want something that speaks to industry, not company, because your LinkedIn profile is your personal branding site. It's not your I work at Apple branding site. It's your personal branding site. We want a picture, a professional picture, headshot, right? We want you smiling. We want to be able to see your eyes, because if we go to a networking event, or in-person one, we shake hands, we look at each other, we smile, right? So we want to see that on LinkedIn. And we want that underneath your name is your headline. We want that to be full of something like project manager excelling at this, that, because the content that you put in your headline becomes searchable by recruiters. And why not tell them what, the position and a little bit about those high level skills that you possess. And then one other thing before we move on LinkedIn, you can record a 10-second audio of yourself. What a great way. A 10-second elevator pitch.
Where? How? Right? Where?
So you can play it back on any device, but you have to go to the mobile app.
Okay.
You go like you're editing your name or your headline, and you can record a 10-second audio. Best thing to do is say your name. Maybe you have a first or last name that nobody ever gets, right? So you just say your name real quick and then say, give us your 10-second elevator pitch. You could say an awful lot. And because hardly anybody takes advantage of that 10-second audio, you're making yourself different. And now we get to hear that passion. Maybe you say, hey, everybody, my name is David Alto. I'm currently a project manager at Amazon. I love my job because of this, that, and the other thing, whatever, right? Mini elevator pitch. It is hardly anybody takes advantage of it on LinkedIn, and it's going to make you different, because now we get to hear that passion out of you when we hit play.
That's often. I didn't even know there was an audio thing on there. So you learn something new every day, don't you guys? So yes. That is awesome. So what about the look and feel of your profile? Because you have the two different pictures. You have, like I said, the long banner, then you have your picture. So First of all, let's go with the picture. How should your picture look in that little circle there at the bottom to the
Sure. So believe it or not, you want to make sure you're either looking straight ahead or in. You don't want to be looking off, this way on your LinkedIn profile, because then the eyes naturally all look kind of off. So either facing this way or slightly that way.
for people who are,
You want to be
listening later. What are you
Yeah.
saying there?
Yeah. So, but just so basically straight on headshot. If I would always suggest taking a picture outside because the lighting is generally better. And if you put it in portrait mode, whatever you have behind you will be blurred out anyway.
Okay.
You want to be smiling, and we want to see your eyes, no sunglasses on top, no cutting, somebody out of it, right? Because you got a picture of you at some event and somebody's standing right next to you or whatever. Again, we want you to be smiling. We want to see you. And then that banner, again, if you just Google LinkedIn banner, or you can go onto Canva and create your own, but we don't want it to be, it doesn't necessarily have to be too wordy or have any words on it. If you're in logistics, boy, oh boy, just having a train, an airplane or whatever, if you Google LinkedIn banner and hit logistics, you're going to find banners already made, size appropriate for LinkedIn, that will do you justice. So when somebody goes to your profile, they can quickly understand what it is you do. The reason you don't want, if you work at Apple, you don't want the Apple logo, because that still tells me nothing about what it is you do. Because if you work at Apple, you do this, there's hundreds of different positions. So you want people to be able to quickly identify what it is you do.
So, but is there like a wow factor in that banner that people should see? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody can put their banner up there, their face, in their nice suit or whatever,
Sure.
put their information on there. But is there something that should be a wow factor when people look at that?
Yeah, sure. So like on my LinkedIn profile, I have a poker chip around my face. A friend of mine made that for me. Now, I don't play poker. But if you have a red background, a green background, whatever, you want that picture to pop so people take notice. So I kind of gave away my secret. So that poker chip means nothing other than it really stands out. And it kind of has something to do with my banner, because my banner has a little card with me with a robot, the ATS resume bots, as I like to call them. I have it in a headlock because I'm beating it and tackling it for my clients. So I guess the card and the poker chip kind of have a significance. But anyway, but you want that picture to stand out. So I always suggest to people, I mean, there's so many different apps you can use to change the background to a different color or whatever in order to stand out.
So it's different. I'm looking at it now. It's different. It's not like super professional. You're having your, most people would think that you would have your nice suit on, just shirt and tie,
sure,
and doing this, and put your information on there. Do you suggest that people put their, and I know you don't have it on yours, but do you suggest people putting on their? I see people have their email address and their phone number and all this stuff on their banner. Is that necessary, or does that make a difference to you think?
I don't think so. So a long time ago, I used to have my phone number on my banner and nobody would call. Now I would still get business. But people respect not calling you. But no, because you can go to contact information, and most recruiters or hiring managers, if they see you on LinkedIn, they're going to DM you, or they're going to message you, or they're going to find your email. They can go to the contact and pull up all that information. So no, the banner should just be just a photo, unless you're on LinkedIn and you're doing something that I do, you're a freelancer, you're a solopreneur, then maybe you could have that. But if you're the average person on LinkedIn, maybe using it as a job platform to, find new work, I would rather that photo be more industry related and not having your contact information on there.
Okay, so just to confirm again, because like currently right now I'm in between banners, if I'm to be honest. So sure. I just use the like a filler LinkedIn banner that they have right now,
Sure.
just to until I get to my transform into my new whatever banner I'm trying to work on. But
Sure.
it's just a cute thing, and I changed my background to the same color as the background.
Well, I like the green. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, yeah.
I like the green because it does pop out, right? But I would highly suggest, whether you want to brand with your show or something. But I would suggest, because it doesn't tell me, your
Yeah.
banner doesn't tell me what it is you do.
Gotcha. Because there are some people who just don't do anything with the banners at all. So it's very, very interesting. So
now, I like your banner that you have on your authority project on your business page.
Oh yeah.
So to be honest,
Yeah.
move that over.
Right.
All right, I'll send you an invoice. We're done.
So let's go a little deeper now. So once the profile is set up and and everything looks good, you like this. What's next? What's the back end stuff now to consider once we have this cool new profile?
Right.
Do we have some place for them to go to, or is it just about reaching out to the people, like I said, in the very first time that we talked?
No, sure. So look, having a great LinkedIn banner or a LinkedIn profile is kind of like having a great resume. If you don't do anything with your resume, if you don't submit it, right, you don't get seen. Well, if you don't do anything on LinkedIn, having a great LinkedIn profile, sure, maybe a recruiter will find you, but you need to post. If you don't know what to post, that's easy. Let's just pretend you're a project manager at Amazon, right? You could post industry related stuff, job related stuff. Maybe there's some new thing coming out that you're pretty proud of. Or do this. If you're a job seeker, or maybe you're working at somewhere and you want to look for work somewhere else, post an article on LinkedIn and post something that you're a subject matter expert about, because more and more companies, hiring managers, recruiters, more hiring managers than recruiters, when they go to your LinkedIn profile, if they see that you wrote an article, and maybe it's a brief read, 1, 2, 3 minute read, and they glance at it, they're going to go, okay, this individual really knows what he or she is talking about regarding this at their current employer or in their current industry. And then they say, okay, this person. So nowadays, the content that you put on social media, sure, they're looking for the bad stuff, the drinking and, on Facebook or whatever, all the bad stuff. But if they see that amazing article on LinkedIn and they're going to go, okay, he or she is, guess what? They're going to do some of those same things for our organization if we hired them. So share an article. Writing an article is just as easy as writing a post, to be honest. You just have to have more content, obviously. But, post something. And it doesn't matter if nobody sees it, because if somebody goes and looks, they're still going to see it. So, if somebody visits your profile, they're going to see those posts and those articles. And share industry related stuff, company, subject matter expert, whatever you're a subject matter expert at. Maybe it's maybe you're a manager and you could leverage some, talk about some leadership best practices, or a struggle, or ask a question, create a poll with some different questions. So if you're going to be on LinkedIn and you're not going to comment and you're not going to engage and you're not going to post, really no reason to be on the platform, to be honest.
So activity counts. Activity matters. Yes.
Yes.
yes. So what let's go into like the description, like the about us, or the about me stuff. How should that look like?
All right. So the about section. So the reason that people go to your LinkedIn profile is to learn more about you. So best thing to do. Here's what I tell my clients to do. If I were to ask you, what do you solve in your current role and who you solve it for? Make that a question right in the beginning. So it could be, does your, right in the beginning of that about section, does your does your department struggle to accomplish X, Y, and Z? And then talk about how you solve that. Mm-hmm. So like for instance, my LinkedIn my about section starts off says, question, are you that average job seeker struggling, applying for hundreds of jobs and not getting any interviews? So it's not about a million people coming to my profile, but when the right ones come, okay, so somebody comes to my profile that's struggling to get, their resume seen to get interviews, then they go, okay, this is how Dave solves that. So again, regardless of what you do, you solve things, and you could talk about how you solve them. So I would suggest, again, coming up with a kind of a question statement, what do you solve and for whom? And then give them an example of how you solve that and implemented that. So, and then you can go into sharing other things from your resume, maybe some bullet points, maybe some metrics, accomplishments, or achievements. But talk about what you solve and how you solve it, and treat the about section like if it was an interview. It's okay to say in the about section, the reason that my teams and I, get this done is because we start with this, this, and this, and work through this. So treat it very conversational, and you could write an awful lot in that about section. So share those golden nuggets of how you solve things. And when the right people visit your profile, they will know what you solve and how you solve it.
Is the about section, is there when I say like, should it be a certain amount of words? Should it be not too long, not too short? What do you think about that?
Well, if you go to mine and look, mine's awful long, but I'm not the average typical. I would say you make them really small paragraphs, but maybe you put 5 or 6 different paragraphs with some different bullet points on there. Now, look, if you end up sharing a lot, make sure the good stuff's towards the top, because they will read at least that. But yeah. 4 or 5 different paragraphs with some bullet points, that's fine. And again, you want to make those paragraphs shorter, because it'll look very easy on the eyes and very easy to read.
Great. So let's wrap this up now. Give us the whole blueprint from A to Z real quick, so we can wrap this up.
All right. So if you're looking for a job and you see a job you want to apply for, search for people that work at that same company at that same position, and just DM me and I'll send you those scripts for free. Make sure your banner tells the industry. Make sure you got a nice profile photo of you smiling. We can see your eyes. Your headline talks about what you're a subject matter expert at. Do that 10-second audio recording. And remember, in that about section, treat it like you were in an interview. What would you share? Those golden nuggets of things and metrics, accomplishments, and achievements that you've shared. And if you need help, just message me. I'm happy to provide some advice and guidance.
Awesome. I got one last question for you. Actually, of all of my guests, David, go something like this. There are people who are watching right now, they'll be listening to you later, and they want to do maybe some of the same things that you're doing right now, helping people with elevating their profile and doing the work with helping people, get that dream job of theirs that they've always wanted. Sure. Can you tell people in your own words, now put you front and center, how they can become an authority in this space?
Okay. So listen, you're a subject matter expert about various things. Share that. At work, people call on you to talk about this and talk about that, right? Share what you're a subject matter expert at, and people are going to find value. Don't worry about likes or comments. Just continue to share what you're a subject matter expert at, and others will see you as that expert. Because again, when you post on any social media, over time, people find value in your words. And when people see you as, hear your value, people will see you as valuable. That's it.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it. This is great. So can you tell people where they can find you after the show? Even though you've already said it many times already, but go right ahead.
Go over to LinkedIn. Message me, comment on my post. I'm more than happy to provide advice and guidance. It always doesn't have to be about the money. I'm more than happy, and I'll provide those little scripts that I blurted out real quick.
Great, awesome, David. This has been amazing. This has been just perfect timing for people who, a lot of people want to get back to work. It's about that time to get back to work. But I think a lot of people are really looking not just to have another job now. I think this whole thing, this pandemic has really taught people that I want something that's going to be more enriching. And like you said, they want that dream job now. They don't just want another job. So get a hold of this guy, let him teach you the ropes, and start to work with him. I think he has a lot to share, and I appreciate you so much for being here and letting us know. All right, how to get it done. And that's it. That's all I have. So people, as I always say, build it, share it, and they will come. We'll see you next time. We are out of here. Peace.
And that's a wrap for this episode of The Authority Project. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you like what you heard, we want to hear from you. Subscribe, rate, and give an honest review. Share and tell your friends so they can hear too. And for even more authority-building tactics, be sure to sign up at theauthorityletter.com. Get free weekly content and ongoing digital product giveaways to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. We certainly hope you got a key takeaway, or maybe an aha moment from today's broadcast. Just remember, it's your authority. Build it, share it, and they will come. Until next time.